Hello everybody and welcome to our Docusnap video tutorials. Today we're looking at license management, which usually is kind of a pain, I know, but we'll look at how we do that with Docusnap and how we possibly can help you ease that pain. So, follow me and let's have a look at how we solve this. Despite all the pain with license management, I think it's really important to state that license management is a really great example why documentation and the business need can be a great synergy, actually. Because you might have the list of licenses that you have somewhere else in your office, then the list of hardware, and consolidating that, it'll really give you a great advantage. So it helps documenting, right? Now, what do you need for the license management? Well, you need to know, of course, which software is installed on which system, which we find out about our agentless discovery. That's pretty awesome. Check it out. We've got some other videos for that as well. What you also need to know is who's responsible for the software and for the licenses in your organization. So once you have these things and, of course, the amount of licenses that you have, we can start diving into Docusnap license management. So Docusnap is your one-stop shop for an agent-free IT documentation. What you can see here is the Docusnap Fat client along with the dashboard in the middle, or the main content that you'll be looking at. On the left is the Data Explorer. On top of it is the ribbon bar that contains all the necessary assistants or wizards for inventorying all the things. On the bottom you find inventory. That's all the things that get into Docusnap. You find documentation. That's basically everything that gets out of Docusnap, as well as license management, which we'll be looking at later, and of course IT security. IT security meaning it's the permission analysis for your file system, SharePoint, and Exchange. In order to dive deeper into license management, we select license management in the Docusnap dashboard, along with opening up the list beneath our company, where you find 4 main buttons. One is license management. One shows you if you have defined the undesired licensing, and you find the software, of course, that contains the software list, which you can sort by product name or by publisher. Using the button assignment, you will then get a list of all the software that you can sort out again and possibly search for a certain version. Now, you are able to select a special software and then you can edit it. You can tell Docusnap that this might be an undesired software product or that you're in the process of maintaining the license. And if you actually want to enter a new license, you are able to do that in license management, where you can select different groups for your licenses and where you can define certain software products within these groups. And these, of course, might have some license assignments. Now, we have a prepared one here for Microsoft servers, I think. It's in the group Microsoft OS. You can also select a certain site if you need to. You can define the group. Of course, you can also create a new one or add a comment. Next thing, step number 3, is to actually define the software product. This is actually only descriptive. So you can define a metric here. That's going to be important. But the rest is basically just so it's easier for you to remember what you're looking at. Now, step number 4 is to possibly exclude some systems, say stage systems or the like. Step number 5 will contain information on the organization, who's responsible for the operation, who's responsible for the licensing. And step number 6 is now really interesting because here you are able to define the product recognition so that you really know which license is relevant for which software. Now, we are already limiting that to the servers in our case, and we have 3 different ways of filtering that. I am selecting the expert filter mode, not because I'd be an expert, but because it lets you actually define in a more granular way what you need to license here. Now, I already entered that. You can add a lot of different operators here. By clicking on preview, I can double check if that is correct. In my case, I assume it's correct and continue on to step number 7, the licenses. I do recall that I have a 2-pack license that is the license type OEM, and I have 2 of those. Not really sure on the maintenance, but that's no problem, for example. You can add that later on. Next thing, you will assign the systems because we selected a device license metric. In our case, we have the 2-pack license here where we will be adding this Exchange server. Now, next thing is the license usage that gives you already a preview of the outcome. So we have 2 in use and 2 available. That leaves us with a total of 0. Next thing, you get a summary and you get to add some contracts. You can also add attachments like photos of a bill or PDFs of the service. And next thing is that you can add a comment and finish it. Once you're done entering all the necessary information, you are able to double check that and to actually access a lot of reports in Docusnap, as always. You can enter the reports on the different levels here, but you can also look at it on the company level and, for example, look at a license account product detail overview. We also do have a Microsoft ELP that you could use once you get an inquiry for an audit, for example. Now, diving down here, of course, you can correct the corporate identity in all the reports by yourself, and you will find all the necessary information that you entered. And important information for you is as well that you should schedule these jobs because it really helps you, getting rid of unnecessary information and actually informing those guys that really are responsible. Now, once you've done that, you're pretty much done. And what we recommend you is to just keep on maintaining it. So what you want to do is to recurringly inventory, to double check if the licenses are correct. It's like 12 steps that are really important that can make your life significantly easier. Now we know that were like 12 really detailed steps, but necessary steps. And let's be honest, that wasn't too painful either, right? Now, thanks so much for taking the time and for your interest in Docusnap license management. We really hope that we can make your life a bit easier with that. And keep in mind, documentation always wins, and in license case, documentation always saves money.